It all seemed like a coincidence, but how could there be so many coincidences? Byron had a gut feeling that everything happening was connected to Charlie, so he swallowed his pride and knelt right there in public. Claire didn't know the details of the phone call and couldn't help but say, surprised, "Byron, isn't your company doing well? And what does your bankruptcy have to do with Charlie?" Byron, still on the ground, said, "Claire, I was wrong to bother you just now, and I admit it. My company just called. Our clients are pulling out, partnerships are being canceled, and the bank is calling in our loans. I'm completely ruined." Claire was stunned for a moment. "I think you're mistaken. Charlie doesn't have that kind of power." Charlie also said coolly, "Byron, everything in this world has consequences. It's useless to ask me for help. You should think about what you've done." After that, he got in the car with Claire. As Charlie drove away, Byron remained kneeling on the side of the road, looking completely dazed. A crowd had gathered around him, all looking at him with surprise and whispering among themselves. But Byron couldn't care about any of that anymore. Starting tomorrow, he would go from a highly successful man to a beggar on the street. No, not even a beggar. He wouldn't just have no money, he'd owe hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. The phone was still ringing. His assistant's panicked voice came through. "Mr. Walsh, the loan sharks called. They said they're increasing the interest rate by 10% and they're coming to collect the debt tomorrow. If you can't pay, they said they'll chop off your right hand. Mr. Walsh, the landlord of our office building called. He said the rent is going up 20 times. If you don't pay, he wants us out by tomorrow." "Mr. Walsh?" The phone slipped from Byron's hand and clattered to the ground. He knelt there, his expression utterly blank. Suddenly, Byron let out a wild scream. "Oh my God! Who the hell did I piss off?" He slammed his fists on the ground frantically, banging his head on the pavement until it started to bleed. The huge blow was too much for Byron to handle, and he had a complete mental breakdown. He started foaming at the mouth, his eyes rolled back, and he fainted. Charlie drove the car, his face calm. The more Claire thought about it, the more she felt something was wrong. She couldn't help but ask, "What did you do to Byron Walsh? Why was he so afraid of you?" Charlie said casually, "I didn't do anything to him. I was waiting outside for you the whole time. How could I have done anything? He probably just offended too many people, and someone else is making him pay." Claire thought about it, and her suspicion began to fade. Maybe Byron really had crossed some powerful person, and he was just blaming Charlie. Thinking of this, Claire said angrily, "That Byron is truly shameless. He deserves to go bankrupt." Charlie smiled calmly. It was true. Byron had it coming. He'd provoked him, and bankruptcy was the best possible outcome. Otherwise, Charlie would have made a guy like that simply disappear. Claire sighed softly and said, "It looks like we still have to find a new partner and see if we can get some business for the studio." When Charlie heard this, he made a mental note to talk to Doris and ask Grand Group to give his wife more projects. When the two returned home, Claire was still talking to Charlie about her development plan for the studio. But as soon as they walked into the house, Jacob came toward them, rubbing his hands together. He glanced at them with an awkward look and said, "Claire, your mother wants you to go back to work at the Wilson Group tomorrow." "What?" Claire was stunned. Charlie frowned and said, "Didn't you cut ties with the Wilson family?" "Oh." Jacob looked embarrassed and said helplessly, "Your mother. I don't know what they've told her, but she's completely focused on the Wilson family, so..." Before Jacob could finish, Claire turned to Elaine and said angrily, "Mom, the Wilson family bullied Dad and tried to take Charlie's house. Why would we go back?" Faced with Claire's questioning, Elaine said angrily, "You're still a Wilson by blood after all. Besides, your grandmother already apologized to me. She said it was just a moment of confusion. She said Harold stirred up all that trouble and made her angry, and now she's punished him for it. What more do you want?" Claire said angrily, "What good is an apology? I know my grandmother better than anyone. Even if she apologizes, she's not being sincere. She just wants me to go back and help her fix the Grand deal, that's all." Elaine quickly tried to persuade her. Don't think so badly of your grandmother. We're all family. You can't hold a grudge forever. We're not family anymore, Claire said angrily. I'm not going back to work for the Wilson Group. What are you talking about? Elaine said, annoyed. Your grandmother admitted she was wrong. Do you expect an elder to get on her knees and beg you for forgiveness? Then, Elaine added, to show she was serious, your grandmother gave me a gold necklace and 2 silver charm necklaces. Mom, so that's what this is about. Grandma dangled some jewelry in front of you, and you took it, Claire snapped. She ignored Elaine, turned and walked into the bedroom. Charlie quickly followed her. Elaine fumed in the living room. Look at your daughter! But Jacob just ignored her and turned away. In the bedroom, Claire was still angry and complained to Charlie, I can't believe the Wilson family would try to bribe my mother with jewelry. You know how Mom is. They just had to show her something shiny. And the Wilson family knows it. They gave her some jewelry, said a few nice words, and she completely forgot how they insulted us. Although Charlie was unhappy about it, he couldn't exactly criticize his mother-in-law. He could only try to reason. When we broke ties with the Wilson family, Mom was never really on board. So maybe she doesn't understand just how awful they can be. Claire said, so what if she insists that I go back to work there? Charlie said, that's your decision to make, and I'll support whatever you choose. Claire nodded and said firmly, I still want to start my own business. Charlie smiled slightly. I think so too. If you start your own business, you'll definitely be successful. As they were talking, Charlie made a mental note. He needed to find time to call Christian Knox, Isaac Craven, Orville, Warnia, and Salman White. He would get them all together for a meal, catch up, and ask them to help support his wife's career in the future. Just then, Charlie's phone rang. It was Warnia. She spoke respectfully. Mr. Wade, it's me, Warnia. I hope I'm not bothering you, but are you busy? Charlie said casually, No, Miss Smith, go ahead. Warnia said, Mr. Wade, my grandfather has been sick lately, and the doctors can't figure out what's wrong. I was wondering if you might have some time to come to my grandfather's house and take a look at him. She quickly added, Don't worry, we'll make sure you're well compensated for your time. Charlie considered it. Warnia was from one of the most powerful families in Orris Hill. In the future, when Claire starts her business, having Warnia as a connection could be very helpful. He readily agreed. I can do it tonight. Warnia sounded relieved. Great, I'll pick you up tonight. Sounds good. After hanging up, Charlie said to Claire, A friend needs me to look at something tonight, so I won't be home for dinner. Claire nodded without asking too many questions. She just said, When you're out, please be careful with that energy alignment stuff you do. If people think you're a fraud, it could lead to trouble. Charlie smiled slightly and said, Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. That evening, Warnia drove to the neighborhood to pick up Charlie. When she saw him, she greeted him respectfully. Mr. Wade, thank you for doing this. Charlie smiled slightly. Miss Smith, you don't have to be so formal. Then he noticed a diamond necklace and asked curiously, Is that the necklace you lost? Warnia nodded quickly. Yes, this is it. It was a gift from my mother before she passed away. It means the world to me. I have you to thank, Mr. Wade. Otherwise, I might have never seen it again. Charlie smiled. It was meant to find its way back to you, even without my help. Warnia knew he was just being modest. She quickly said, Mr. Wade, it's rare to meet someone with your kind of real talent, and even rarer for them to be so humble and low-key. Charlie smiled. Miss Smith, you don't have to flatter me. Let's get down to business. Warnia nodded quickly. Of course, Mr. Wade. Please, get in. Sitting in Warnia's car, the drivers sped toward the Smiths' mansion in Orris Hill. It was a sprawling, luxury estate with stunning architecture and manicured gardens. The place had a classic, timeless beauty, a testament to the owner's refined taste. The estate was massive. Owning this much land in Orris Hill was a clear sign of the family's incredible wealth. Warnia led Charlie into the main courtyard. Just as they walked through the entrance, he saw a young man in a sharp suit approaching them, accompanied by an older gentleman and a young woman. "Sister, who is this?" The handsome young man looked at Charlie with suspicion. This is Mr. Wade." Warnia's expression was a little tense, but she kept her composure and made the introduction. "And this is my cousin, Honor Smith." "Hello," Charlie nodded. "Mr. Wade?" The young man eyed Charlie from head to toe, then said sarcastically, "Sister, you invited a so-called expert who's younger than me to see Grandpa? Are you serious? This seems a bit reckless, don't you think?" Charlie took it in, a flicker of understanding in his eyes. On the way over, Warnia had mentioned that her grandfather, Cedric Smith, was gravely ill, his life hanging by a thread. The younger generation of the family was all scrambling like something out of the legends of the frontier, each one trying to show off their own magical powers. They had brought in countless famous doctors, each hoping to be the one to cure Arthur. They were all jockeying for position, trying to make a name for themselves, or secure a bigger piece of the inheritance. This was especially true for Warnia and her cousin, Honor. Unfortunately, every single one of those famous doctors had failed and left empty-handed. It was clear that Honor was hostile toward Warnia. The look in his eyes was dripping with contempt. Warnia spoke up. "Honor, Mr. Wade is incredibly skilled. I was having a string of bad luck, and it was Mr. Wade who helped me turn things around. He has a supernatural power." Honor scoffs. "Warnia, to treat Grandpa, we need a brilliant doctor, not some energy alignment guy who pretends to be a god. You get that, right?" Charlie stood quietly beside Warnia, his expression calm but unreadable. No one said anything more, but the air between them was already tense.
Hey amazing viewers, it's Charlie here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 11% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 89% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.